Alright, let's start. Shadow Generations Platinum Trophy. I'm switching up the format of my videos because I want to, and I think me just free roaming talking is a lot more fun than a scripted me talking. Let's get straight to it though. Shadow Generations Platinum Trophy is one of the funnest trophies I've had the pleasure of gaining. Honestly, every time I get a Platinum Trophy, I just enjoy myself in general. I think collecting Platinum Trophies is really fun. This game in general, I'll rephrase then, is really fun. So let's get started. One of the things you'll need for the Platinum Trophy is this is the open world. It's called White Space, and it's where it contains all the cool platforming and levels, stages, and boss fights, and a lot of collectibles for the whole game in the overworld. Throughout the whole entire game of Shadow Generations, you'll run into chests randomly, and when you open them you get cool stuff, and a lot of them are collectibles. You need to get them all for the Platinum Trophy, and they're hidden in little spaces in between corners. Some of them are really obvious, right? When you walk around you'll literally run into them, but some take a lot of patience, platforming, and trial and error to obtain, and I think it's a really nice balance. So for example, let's say I have two chests, probably, I don't remember off the top of my head, up on this tower here. I would have to platform my way, figure out the tight spaces, jump and platform, run and homing attack, and just be careful overall in order to reach the top of that castle area in order to get those chests. And there, in fact, there's a chest right there in the corner. There's a lot of platforming involved, but it's really nice platforming. It's like the way you control shadows is really fun, but that's not the point. The point is, one of the rewards of playing this game and even getting the Platinum Trophy is no matter where you look around every corner, there's always something interesting to obtain. And there's one right there. I'm looking at the distance. There's a chest. No matter where you look, there's always something to find. I think that's one of the strengths of Shadow Generations. I think they nailed that mechanic of Shadow Generations on the head perfectly, and it's overall well done. Another thing you'll notice is on the map, I liked also a lot of, sometimes, not all the time, but when you're collecting stuff like this, it's not marked on the map. It is in Shadow Generations. You see all those chests that are open symbols on them. It means I found the chests and I unlocked them. This is cool because if you're not like me and you want to use a guide and you're just lost or you can't find that one chest, you can always look at guides and see what's already unlocked in order to find the one that you're missing. I think it's a win-win overall. I don't think it takes away the challenge, and it helps people who can't find that one annoying chest. It's really cool. Another thing you'll notice around the overworld are these nodes. They're challenge nodes. So when you click on them, it'll give you a challenge. They're plain and simple challenges. You are required to get an S rank to get the Platinum Trophy. Some of them will take you more than one attempt, which is fine. They last like 3 minutes. I think the longest one is 3 minutes max. The shortest one was like literally 25 seconds. And they're little small challenges, nothing major. You know, collect all rings before you hit the end of the level. Defeat a certain amount of enemies before time's up. Use chaos control at the right time, small stuff like that. It's really cool. It adds a little bit of a it's a nice change of pace for the overall gameplay. They come in pairs, so if you see one, you automatically see the other, and you can teleport to them if you get bored and need a second to regroup. So what I'm talking about is, let's say I'm about to fight Biolizard, one of the main bosses, and I tell myself, you know what, I don't want to fight the Biolizard right now. I want to try one of the challenges I missed. Well, you can literally teleport to a challenge. Pick one. Ring collector level 1. I just pick one at random, and you can teleport right into it. And you can play the challenge instead of doing the boss fight, or use it to teleport around the map. It's not a big deal. The map is very small, but it's very compact. Meaning, again, I'll say it again because it's the best way I can describe it. No matter where you turn in this game in the overworld, there is something in the corner of your eye that you can grab and get. A challenge, a node, a part, a collectible. The challenge nodes also have a bell on them. They're not activated right now because I unlocked them all. But if you ring the bell, it'll literally spawn a note that'll fly across the stage, and you gotta run to it and grab it before it despawns. That's nothing major. It's really easy. It's just something to do. Shadow Generations is blessed with having a lot of small little things that add up and making it full of content, which is great. Look, another chest right there. I will say one negative thing about Shadow Generations I didn't like. So one of the, if you guys remember these guys, they're Orbit and I forgot the other one. What's his name? Orbit and Kobit. So yeah, they're stuck in white space and they want to get out of here. So they found one of Eggman's rockets, but they need 80 little pieces of spare parts to activate the rocket. So the joke is that once you find 80 pieces, it turns out this isn't a rocket. It's a clock, which is pretty funny. But the reason I bring this up is because collecting all 80 pieces is one of the requirements for the Platinum Trophy, and to get all collectibles. The problem is the spare parts are everywhere. They're hard to see. There's too many of them, and there's no way to track them. Like I already mentioned, if I zoom in on the map, it'll show me all chests that I've unlocked. It will not do that for the spare parts. There's no way to unlock a spare part other than to run into them. And that's really bad. If it was 20 of them, I'd get it. But there's 80 of them. So if you're looking at a guide, you have to backtrack throughout the entire stage to figure out if you unlock the spare part or not. And I just didn't like that. I saw forum posts of people saying they spent like an hour and a half finding 1 or 2 pieces. I went through the exact same experience. Luckily, I had other stuff to do in between playing that kept me busy, that grabbed my attention. But either way, it was really disheartening where I just needed like 1 more piece or 2 more pieces, and I had to run across the entire stage several times over until I got lucky and ran into it. They really dropped the ball on that. It's poorly implemented. I hope the game's been out for a while. I just caught up with it. They still haven't done an upgrade in the map where you can track the spare pieces, either the ones you run into, the ones that you need to collect. It's really bad, but at least for the chest, they didn't drop the ball. There's a chest right there. I just saw one. There's a lot to do to keep you occupied. It's just they dropped the ball on that one. Like I said, wherever you walk, there's something to do in the overworld. Challenges, collect rings, surf. One of my favorite areas, in fact, I'll go there. In fact, let's just teleport there right now. Not the Radical Highway. So, Shadow Generations takes place before Sonic Frontiers, and apparently Shadow has visited the Island of Chaos before. In the future, I mean. So this takes place. So canonically, he hasn't been here yet while you're playing Shadow Generations. But I think it's really cool that levels from Sonic Frontiers have made a cameo appearance inside Shadow Generations. And not only that, they are like Sonic Frontiers, if you ask me, had really rough platforming. Not like it was hard, but like it was intense. Like it required like a lot of focus and attention. If you ask me, Shadow Generations is dramatic as well. This entire platforming sequence, for example, takes place in the sky, and it requires a lot of precise timing, and it takes like a lot of brain power just to figure out how to get up there in the first place. Shadow has a bunch of new abilities that help him platform, but it's still like a lot of camera cuts and precise timing. And oh, see, I already screwed that up, and I got the I've been doing this for a while. But despite that, it's like really cool. Like it feels so rewarding when you finally platform correctly, make it to your destination. Not only that, as again, there's stuff to unlock here. Chests and collectibles. Rouge the Bat makes a guest appearance. A lot of people make guest appearances. Sonic even makes a cameo appearance in this game. It's not a very big one, but he's still in the game. Big the Cat's in this game, which I thought was cool too. If you talk to Pig, one of his dialogues says that he's run into Shadow plenty of times. He references how he was looking for Froggy and he saw Shadow throughout his adventures in Sonic Adventure 2, which is cool because if you never played Sonic Adventure 2, Big the Cat makes a bunch of cameo appearances in the game. He's like hiding in little corners. So I think that was a really cool reference, explaining why Big the Cat's here. Omega's here. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice blast through memory lane, or it's like a collage of interesting characters if you never played Shadow games before or aren't in depth with the lore. Anyway, back to the platforming. Another thing I like about the overworld is there's always something like Shadow has new abilities. I can shoot lightning from my hand. I used it to unlock a little platform to jump on. There's a little well here that if I go to, there's like secrets to unlock, spare parts, enemies, zones to explore. Every single corner has something to add. And as you progress through the games, Shadow does get new abilities. So for a typical Sonic or Shadow game, they get abilities, especially in the recent games, but it's not like they're like small, like they're quality of life enhancements, like ring collections and everything. But Shadow gets like abilities that actually matter towards boss fights. These new abilities that you're seeing, me surfing on, turning into goo, surfing on water, shooting electricity out of my hands, chaos control, those are all not only utilized pretty well in the overworld, but they're used in boss fights as well. So my favorite example is probably Metal Overlord. Metal Overlord is a boss fight. He's from Sonic Heroes. He makes an appearance in the this game as a boss battle. The entire fight's over water, so in order to utilize that, Shadow obtains a surf ability, which allows him to surf over the water, and you use that the entire fight while fighting Metal Overlord. It's pretty cool. Metal Overlord is my favorite boss in this game because he actually has an attitude. He taunts Shadow pretty well. If you use chaos control, he actually like insults Shadow, saying it's worthless to use that against him, and laughs at Shadow. He has a personality is what I'm saying, and I just think that's really cool and fun. He's also a cool boss fight. This game is extremely flashy. There's a lot going on at all times. Sonic Generations did a good job in trying to keep the levels faithful to the original. Shadow Generations, on the other hand, literally for the first part of the levels says, yeah, we'll keep it the same, exactly the same, and for a lot of the end levels, it completely destroys physics in reality, and that's not an exaggeration. Black Moon is the main antagonist in this game, and he will show up every couple levels or so, not every level, which I think is great because it doesn't change up the pacing too much, and just insult you and literally revamp reality just to throw Shadow off. I'll exit the stage. Before I do want to mention that some of you probably already noticed already. When I did this boss battle, even though I have the Platinum Trophy, I didn't get an S rank. So in order to get the Platinum Trophy, you need an S rank on everything, challenges and levels, but you don't for the bosses. So let me know in the comments below if anybody wants me to. I was thinking of doing a no-hit S rank challenge run on all the bosses on hard mode, just to prove that I can. Let me know if anyone's interested in that. But surprisingly, I'm not going to complain, but surprisingly, if you you do not need an S rank on the boss battles for anything, for all the collectibles. So there's the space colony. I wanted to show you guys something. I'm not exaggerating when I say, number one, this game is flashy. Just look at the first stage. Look at the intro. The Eclipse Cannon in the background, shadows in space, the Earth. Like, it does a really good job in making me remember Sonic Adventure 2, and at the same time it switches things up and modernizes them until you reach like near the end. I'll show you when I get there, but I'm not exaggerating. Throughout the levels, like in the middle of the levels, Black Moon will show up, warp reality, completely screw with you. Even at some point, Shadow himself makes the line that says anything goes, I guess. So it like the game isn't taking itself too seriously. Throughout the levels, I'm sure you guys saw that because I completely missed it, but it was on the screen for just a split second. There are collectibles. They're called collection keys. There's 3 of them each stage. You will need to grab those and to unlock everything. They're just little tokens. They're hidden throughout the stages. All you got to do is touch them. That's it. They're not even that hard to run. Find. Some of them you'll... Oops, I need some speed. Some of them you'll literally run into. Now, obviously, for any kind of challenge and to get S ranks in Sonic games, you'll probably have to do the level a couple times. Sometimes that can be annoying. I didn't find it annoying for Shadow Generations because the levels are pretty short. You control Shadow pretty easily, and the tokens aren't like out of the way. Oh yeah, you can use Chaos Control to platform. I think that's excellent. That is so much fun. Throughout the game, you're attacked by missiles or enemies. Trains are thrown at you. You can use Chaos Control to use them as platforms to run on. In fact, one of the challenges requires you to use Chaos Control properly to make a path to run on in order to complete the challenge. It's really cool. The challenges, I think I already mentioned this, but they're anywhere between 30 seconds long to 3 minutes at the absolute most. You'll have to do some of them over again to get used to them and to get the S rank or to collect all the tokens. Watch this, Chaos Control, and now I have a platform. Isn't that cool? I ran into a collection trophy, like literally ran into it. I wasn't even aiming for it. It's part of the game process. Some of the levels have like little cutscenes in the middle of them. I usually don't like that because it throws off the pacing, but they're short, they're interactive, and they're pretty cool. I like it when Shadow himself shows off. It's pretty entertaining, to be honest. As far as the challenge nodes go, um, they're not too long, and the levels as well. You got sometimes you got to do more than once. I'll be honest with you. When I did got the platinum trophy for Sonic Frontiers, I didn't have too much fun with that one because some of the levels I had to do over again, and they were long and complicated, and it felt really bad doing it. As much as I like Sonic Frontiers, Shadow Generation doesn't have that problem. It's pretty easy to identify where the collection tokens are. It's pretty easy to figure out how to get to them, and it's the levels are generously short. This game was only $40. That's because Shadow Generations, I wouldn't say is a full game, but it has them. It feels like a full game because you're going down memory lane, and there's still it's packed full of content. If I could give this game one compliment, it's full of content no matter where you turn. Give me a second. We're reaching the point of the level where like Black Moon shows up for no reason because he can and just warps reality. I wanted to show you guys what I mean when I say that. It's not an exaggeration. He literally turns the world upside down, left and right, horizontal, interdimensional, whatever. He's basically doing what he wants. Again, he doesn't do it every level, which is great, because if he did it every level, it would be too cliche. He just shows up every couple levels and just does it just to mess with Shadow. I like Shadow's reaction. He's like freaking out, like what the heck is going on? Like, this is cool. Look at this. Is this not amazing? He's falling into the earth, into cities from space, and he was just in space. These buildings are tilting amongst themselves and moving, and it's really eye-catching. Let's see. I'm not going to finish the level because it's going to be a while. But I hope you guys get the point. It's flashy, it's cool, it's chaotic. There's a lot going on in it. Each level has 2 acts, so it's not just like one level and you're done. It's 2 levels. It's like Sonic Generations, right? Each level had 2 parts, the Sonic's version and younger Sonic's version. Well, if you do the Space Colony or each level, you have Act 1 and Act 2. It's the same aesthetics, different format. Let's look around a little bit more. So you might be wondering, what happens when you get all these collectibles? Well, in Sonic Generations, you literally had to run into the collections room. In Shadow Generations, it's a lot more complicated. Get ready for this. You have to press start and go to the collection room. It wasn't complicated. I was just messing with you guys. This room is cool. It's a little too exotic for me. I wish they added a little bit more, fun stuff into it. For example, there's like a little bird on the table here. This doesn't fit Shadow at all. It's out of place. I think that's why it's cute and funny. I like it. I wish it was a little bit more, I don't know, black and red. Shadow's bike from Shadow the Hedgehog is just there. I like when you interact with it. He seems so proud of it. Like, oh, I remember this. I enjoyed writing this. So these collectibles that you see and these on-screen prompts, they're not available when the game starts. Again, you got to earn them all. I unlocked them through getting the Platinum Trophy, opening chests, getting spare parts, doing challenges, activating bells, all that. And whatever you collect, you can show off here. I got another channel. I will link it below if you want to see the artwork directly and the references. This is art. You can see all concept art. It's really cool. This is from the DLC. The DLC is only 1 level. It has 5 tokens, and whenever you capture one, you unlock a new poster, which are pretty cool. You'll also find Gerald Robotnik's journal, which I think is the most interesting thing you unlock when you get all the collectibles. I did read through it. Again, I'll link that below. I literally read through it as a narrative. It has really cool, interesting insights, and I just think it's a nice nod to everything that is Gerald Robotnik and Shadow the Hedgehog and Shadow's... oh, no, don't quit the game. Shadow's challenges throughout the years. And that's pretty much it. Let me prove to you guys I got the Platinum Trophy. I did get the Platinum Trophy for Sonic Generations as well. It doesn't show up on the PS5 version. I did get it on the PS3 version. I linked it a video below. It's on my channel. But yeah, if you want proof that I collected everything, there's the trophy. It literally says get all collectibles in Shadow Generations. There aren't a lot. Oh, I'm so glad I went through this. There is one more thing I completely forgot to mention. In terms of unlocking the Platinum Trophy for this game. Let me, resume game. So after, like, near the end of the game, what happens is this node shows up in the middle of the area. And it belongs to Black Moon. So what you do is, when you click on it, it'll even tell you what happens. You click on it, this really intense cutscene for no reason shows up. We're gonna watch it. It's really short. Black Moon's little sphere darkens the sky. The atmosphere changes, the tones change, the music gets louder. Radical Railroad, Shadow's first level ever, just shows up in the area. And now everything is in hard mode. So now new challenge modes show up. And if you click on a challenge mode, it'll even say it's hard mode. Now, the thing about the hard mode challenge nodes is that some of them I got in like under 5 minutes. They weren't even that hard. Here's an extra one. You can tell because it's extra. It even says hard on it. Right, you do need to get an S rank on all of them. As you can see, it took me under 40 seconds to get the S rank. Some of these are really hard. Some of them took me about an hour or an hour and a half to complete with an S rank. I was stuck on some of these. I like to think I'm not the only one because I did check Google to see, like, is anybody else having a problem with these challenges? And yeah, people have the same overall feeling. Some of these you can do in like 1 or 2 attempts. They're not a big deal, even if they're in hard mode. And some of them it will literally take you hours to complete. Just like with the spare parts. If there were 2 negatives I have to give about the challenge modes, the Platinum Trophy, it's that the spare parts. I wish I could mark them on the map so I can find them easier. Maybe some way to locate them, the ones I haven't found. And the challenge, some of the challenge nodes were like ridiculously overtoned for what they were. Let's end this video with something cool. Shadow's first level ever was Radical Highway, but you don't start Shadow Generations with that level. In fact, you start in the Space Colony Arc. However, Radical Highway does make a cameo appearance. It is the final stage of this game, minus the boss fight with Black Moon. And to get to it, it's all the way up there. It's literally in the sphere. It is the final stage is in this sphere. So one of the things I love about Shadow Generations is like, how the heck do I have to get up there? And even though I've beaten this game a bunch of times, I still can't, off the top of my head, remember how to get to the Radical Highway. I have to go up. I'm trying to find the... Hopefully I find it soon so you guys don't get bored, but... Oh, there we go. I remember now. So yeah, it's cool to even get to the Radical Highway, to get to the final stage. You gotta like go up, and then you gotta like sprout wings. Shadow can fly in this game, by the way. Near the end, he can sprout wings, and you gotta like platform and like time stuff correctly and fight enemies. And it's just like a really good precursor to like the stage. It's a nice tribute, a nice triumph for what they were trying to achieve here. Let's see. Yeah, look like this looks fun. Oops, I screwed that up. If I didn't screw that up, that would be cool though. But that looks fun, doesn't it? Just trying to. I'm just gonna teleport up there. If you not the challenge list. If you stage list. If you completed the game like I did, I can just teleport there. It's fine. It's literally in the sphere. Let me get out of here to show you guys. And it's, I think, really cool. You get a good view of the area. The final boss is in there. There's a trophy to like kill the final boss without taking damage. It wasn't that big a deal. Again, it's one of those things where it's going to take you a couple attempts, but then, you know, what's the point of going through a challenge? That is the point of going through a challenge. It's going to be a little bit hard sometimes. And that's it for the Platinum Trophy. It'll take you on the, you know, an average of 35 hours to complete. It has some annoying parts, not enough for me to tell you that I didn't enjoy the game. The game itself is fun. It's compact. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy Shadow. I don't know why they have to remind Shadow every couple games that Maria's dead, because she does die in this game again, and she basically tells Shadow. Shadow tries to save her, right? And Maria's like, nope, let me die. And I just think that's funny. Every couple years, we're reminded that Maria died. Let's go say hi to Maria. We'll call it a day. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out the videos below. Let me know if you want to do There's Big the Cat. Let me know if you want me to do the challenge mode for the bosses or any PS5 related challenge. I really don't care. I'll do anything. I will get the Platinum Trophy and I will do the challenges. There is Maria. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.